First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Jack, 280. Right there in the middle, 55. Hey, defense, black guard.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Back to throw, Stafford. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the gun, here's Stafford. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Danielle Hunter in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep is Marcus Sherrills. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get him down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 10-yard line.
On 2nd down, Cook. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, and defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Switch. Shift.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
Can't ask for much more than that. A 50-yard punt followed by a loss on the return. And the Lions will take over. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now it's Stafford. And he fires one incomplete. Kerryon Johnson, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think he might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield, and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Here's Stafford. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. On first and 10, Stafford. Screen play, Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Blue 50. 54. I'm going to run you over.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. This is going to be a good one-on-one battle to watch. Both of these guys play the game at the highest level.
Both of them are terrific competitors. They play the game with great athleticism and smarts as well.
And in this early round, the defense wins. Here's Sherrills. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over first and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a first and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Open here, Adam Thielen. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. No score after one on EA Sports.
Let's go, baby. Ready? Watch the curve.
First down. Here's Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
A good pickup there of 22.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. From the 35 on second down, Cousins. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9. Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
The Lions on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Here's Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook. Obi Melifonwu with the tackle. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless 1st half.
At the 39-yard line.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. From the 39, Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. If you're a lover of offense, this has not been the half for you thus far. Luckily for me, though, I'm sitting next to a lover of defense, and we have had plenty of that, including that interception.
Yeah, and I mean, that still makes it a great game, doesn't it? Everybody talks about if the ball's not in the end zone and points going up on the board, it's not as much fun.
It's caught at the 10. A big play there for Detroit. 49 yards. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this 1st half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. But that one big play, that could spark a big burst right here.
Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Stafford now to throw. Dancing to his left. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. extra point good by Prater. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
He gets this one to Johnson. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely...
It got his man complete. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. And he rifles one incomplete. Johnson, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Play action. Stafford. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Stephen Weatherly. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. 3rd and long. It's Stafford. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Throwing, Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 41-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Sponge. No. Check 43. Tight dog. Slant.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Cousins. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 19. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Bailey got the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Danielle Hunter, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
It's a gain of 6.
Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Check forward, check forward.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now at Ford Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Hey, wahoo!
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now Johnson. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing on 2nd down. Stafford, he'll get this one to Galladay. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 44-yard line.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Danielle Hunter, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Here's Johnson. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
It's now 3rd down and long.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. To throw is Stafford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. You go tight. You got tight.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's He's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 31 yards there and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They run again on first down. Cook. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
From the 31, Cousins. That is caught. It's Tajay Sharp. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 20-yard line. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a first down in field goal range already. Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. Cousins here to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Mike. I know he ain't got it. Two. Zebra. Hey, exit. 53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Check. Hey, switch gears. You going. Where's the hot?
Here's Cousins. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that will shave one more off this lead. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Here we go.
The Lions take over 1st and 10.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. Wow, evasive.
Make them.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Number 53, Mike 53. I got you. What's that? 53 is the Mike. What's that?
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Trey Flowers there on the tackle.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They run it again with Cook. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It's a 6-yard loss on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Hey, Alpha.
Cousins to throw. And now here is another interception. It's Desmond Trufant. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp.